Hey guys, welcome back. And welcome to day 10 of the 12 days of Danmas. It's Wednesday, which means I'll be talking about Week 15 of the NFL. Week 15 started with just an absolute dogshit Thursday night game. Cooper Kupp? More like Pooper Kupp with that big fat zero he squeezed out. No touchdowns were scored in that absolute shitfest of a game, so that's the last I'll speak of it. I'm going to be talking about the league as a whole if you skip to this point. But yeah, I'm going to be getting into my fantasy league now. I already mentioned how Cooper Kupp scored a whopping 0 points for me. This is the first week of the playoffs, so the timing just couldn't be better. Luckily, our playoff matchup is 2 weeks long, because this week was pretty bad. Of course, the friggin' Jacksonville Jaguars took their happy-ass time putting Evan Engram on IR. It was a meaningless matchup between two 3-win teams. More on that later. But there was really no need for the Jags to have done that. I at least have the comfort of knowing even if I had done the Evan Engram swap, I still would have lost this week. I got beat by kind of a lot. Nothing I can't come back from, with just under 50 points to make up. I think that's more than doable with guys like Jamar Chase and Derrick Henry. Plus I have Josh Jacobs now, who has been absolutely feasting lately. I have multiple players from the Packers on my fantasy roster. It's not uncommon in fantasy football, but it's like I'm simultaneously hoping my players do well, but not so well they're affecting the Lions. The guy I'm playing has Lamar Jackson, who scored 35 points this past week. It's hard to compete with Action Jackson with 2 goose eggs. Oh, and Cooper Kupp wasn't the only Cooper to put up a goose egg this week. Amari Cooper also had that stupid honor, but I don't have him in fantasy. I guess now would be a good transition point. If you were skipping, you can stop now. Like I said, I'm not going to comment on the shit show that was Thursday Night Football. So we're just gonna get right into Sunday. The Jags and Jets played, which I mentioned briefly. I hinted that this game was a total tank bowl. Those teams literally have no playoff hopes, so it's nice seeing Aaron Rodgers basically doing his best to get Davante Adams into the Hall of Fame. The Cowboys played the Panthers this week, and even though the Cowboys are having a bad season, they aren't having as bad of a run as the Panthers. The Panthers lost, mostly because Micah Parsons and the Dallas defense just destroyed Bryce Young.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
I can't talk about that Panthers-Cowboys game without mentioning my cousin, Matt. Matt is also in the playoffs for our fantasy league, so there's a possibility of us playing each other in the fantasy championship game. The Browns played against the Chiefs, and it was actually a competitive game for a minute. But then the Browns remembered they're the Browns and turned the ball over multiple times. And Jameis Winston returned to form by contributing to those turnovers. We're going to talk about that Lions-Bills game. I was beyond excited for that game. My dad helped me make Lions Cool 8 special for the occasion. There are many things to say about that game. The Lions have the best team in the league, but Josh Allen is the best player in the league. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but the Lions literally decided to lose at the best time. Not that you're ever happy with a loss, but it was a non-conference game and the Lions are still in first place in the NFC North. Everybody is concerned about the David Montgomery injury, and rightfully so. But the Lions still dominated when Big Hutch went out. And what does Dan Campbell say about knocking us down?
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Oh, another guy is out for the season?
And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap.
This Lions team trusts Dan Campbell, and so do I.
Before long, we're going to be the last one standing. All right, that's going to be the mentality.
The Steelers and the Eagles played in a battle for Pennsylvania. You know I don't like the Eagles, so it was disappointing to see the Steelers lose. The Sunday night game was between the Packers and Seahawks. I can't not think of the replacement refs whenever those teams play each other.
The game's final play is a Wilson loft to the end zone, which is fought for by Tate with Jennings simultaneous. Who has it? One guy goes up, touchdown. The other said no time.
How does MD Jennings not get credit for the interception? I have no idea. Call on the field stands. Touchdown.
Seahawks win in the most bizarre finish you'll ever see.
This game had a number of fantasy implications for me, but the replacement ref thing is a decade old. Outside of the Packers winning that game, I have nothing relevant to say. There were 2 games on Monday night. And Monday night was just as bad as Thursday night, but twice as much. You know, because there were 2. I'm going to roll on out of here, but not before I remind you to check out my website, disableddanny.com. I already know the link in the description won't work. You don't even need to be in a wheelchair to join my cult, the Dan Fam. You can just subscribe to get in and become a Dan fan. Remember to be gentle while liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell.
Remember, Danmas, peace out.